All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Thursday, September 19th, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, let's get into it today. So, market's here today with a pretty big gap higher, and you can see we gapped above the new all-time high, or the previous all-time high. And we gapped above yesterday's high too. So very bullish move when you see that, especially when you're able to gap above a resistance, especially as significant as this one. A good example here is right here. You just gap right through it, and that usually bodes well for the upside, needless to say. So we were able to kind of get through all those hedges and all of that nonsense. Again, first 3 days here, tons of noise, right? And that was even to Friday, very noisy here, not a lot of action. A lot of whipsaw here, and there's lots of hedges that go on and off during an FOMC day. And that's why, you don't want to get caught up in that noise. And downside hedges come off. Doesn't matter what, the macro take is on the 50 basis points. What matters is what the market's reaction is. And that is strong right now. I do not have any sort of sell signal on the market here. One thing I will say, sentiment is a little stretched. So we could see some backing and filling. We could see some, pulling back here. But, as long as this holds tomorrow, this previous all-time high on a weekly close, you got to go with the trend, which is up. And we're making new all-time highs here. What would change that? You get a high volume sell on the spiders. So that's really all it comes down to. And we had good volume today, good buy volume too. So 74 million. We get 100 million though with a reversal candle. Then we can look at downside here, but right now, I don't see any reason why this market can't go higher. If we take a look at the Qs here, good outside move. Again, went up into the 485.50 area. By the way, we did stall out at the 570 handle, like I talked about. So that is still kind of in play. There's still a little bit of pinning there. We'll see if that gets removed again after the close. After that, for tomorrow, I'll just let you know right now, the max move is probably 57.50. In fact, that is what it is on SPX. So, 574, 575 on SPY. But triple Qs here, obviously having the biggest day here, up 2.53. And 480, 450. We did just kind of kiss that. Yeah, 486.23. So we technically made a higher high, and that's a weekly higher high too. So we'll see where it closes tomorrow. If it can follow through and close the week above that pivot, that's definitely a positive. You'll have more resistance at 490. That's the next level there for QQQ. We pull back. You've got this right here, and you've got this trend line here in the short term. So wedge breakout and Qs acting well. Did money rotate to a few things today? I think it did, right? IWM was up 2%. It got pinned to 224. There's a lot of, first of all, you can see the clear resistance at 225, but there is quarterly GEX at 225 for tomorrow, so I don't expect much upside. A lot of things hit some upside targets today too, like Nvidia 120, Amazon 190. There's several tech names. SMH 245 is probably it for tomorrow and for next week. I think there's some others I'm probably forgetting. Tesla might be 245, 250. I think IGV there is $90 area. So some things kind of hit some max moves, or at least got close. So again, we may see the market stall out a little bit, the IWM stall out a little bit, but again, that's really all it is at this point, is just a stall out. But what I was going to say though is rotation. So the Dow up 1.25, so that was up the least, right? Spiders up 1.7, QQQ up 2.5. Russell up 2. That's a bullish configuration. Dow up less. NASDAQ Russell leading. It's a good sign. One area I would maybe, I don't know if I would necessarily think it's a short, but if I had to pick areas to short, I would pick defensives. So XLP down 59 basis points. XLU down 59 basis points. XLV was green, but came off the highs. And you even had a little bit of a pretty solid outside move there with a tail candle a few weeks ago. Why do I say that? Well, money's looking at, all right, rate cut. What's benefiting? Small stocks. What's doing good right now? Like Affirm, ARC, Like, look at some of these stocks that have run. Peloton, Redfin, like just beaten down. Look at this, you know, even the coin, Bitcoin miners are getting bid, and Bitcoin also getting a bid as well. IWM's had a huge move this week. So money's kind of moving out of these defensives right now. And, you know, that's kind of the state the tape is in. So just some interesting dynamics there. SMH, though, had a good day. It did come off the highs, though, but it still finished up 4.3. And you got through this trend line here. So we'll be watching. I forgot I was going to say one other thing about tech. Talked about this on Twitter, too. And, you know, it's really not out of the question here, right? So this is it's 510. You can't see it. It's just above 510, but that's a measured move there. That is possible. I mean, there's nothing to say that can't happen. So, you know, this weekly, all we did is pull back to the 50 MA, pull back again, and then flag. So tech has been lagging the last couple of weeks, last month, starting to lead. We'll continue to watch that over the next couple of weeks. Does tech continue to show leadership at the end of the day? But anyway, SMH, you know, up 4 1/3, good move. The SOX up 4 1/4. IGV, new all-time high, new all-time closing high, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So we'll see where that closes the week, but very strong. You guys know I love my cloud sector here. Dow Transports, again, up nicely on the day. New 52-week highs, new 52-week closing high. Again, market's taking this 50 basis points and saying it's bullish right now. So we can argue with the tape and talk about, oh, in 2007, it was bullish for this amount of months. Well, how many months did it keep going up for? You know, so, and this isn't, by the way, this isn't 2007. It's a different time. So, and also, by the way, I've probably heard that comparison made like 100 times in the last 2 days. So it's not, you know, it's not like this alpha is sneaking up on anybody. So it's not alpha. So just don't fight the charts here until they give you the signal. But either way, we'll look at this on the weekly, and I've been saying this for months. What if this is just a big ascending triangle, which is exactly what it is? This breaks out, it's going to be it's going to be a huge leg. So transports, good day. Bitcoin we'll talk about in a second. Interest rates here, flat or on the short end. So short end flat, 5s, 10s, and 30s are a little bit firmer. So they continue to follow through here from yesterday. And I want to see where they close the week. I'd like to see the 10-year above 3.7 to really confirm a low. That did come off the highs. Bond bulls came back a little bit, and we'll respect that. But 30 years, the long end, I think that is the firmest, and that will continue to stay the firmest. I think they can be telling us that the market's looking at inflation and saying this is, you know, we might have short-term disinflation. The Fed might be behind the curve on the short end, but they see the printing presses aren't stopping. It doesn't matter if Kamala or Trump wins. Like, they're not going to stop printing money. So, and I think we passed the point of no return there. But anyway, XHB up 2 3/4. New all-time high, new all-time closing high. Homebuilders are a really tough short. VNQ did manage to scratch out a gain. I think it's probably done here for a little bit, though. But again, we hit the 618 perfectly. And, you know, a little bit of a pause week so far. We'll see where it closes tomorrow. I would bet that this backs off a little bit. XLF up 1.1. So good recovery. I know JP Morgan was not very strong yesterday post FOMC, and it's really not that strong today. It didn't take out yesterday's high. So this is a stock, I think there's some trouble with this. So we'll continue to watch that. That's the most important financial. KRE, though, again, didn't close above yesterday's high. That would have been impressive. But still, you know, it's basically just off 52-week highs. All right. So got a little double top coming up. But still showing strength. There's KBE again. Same exact look. And broker-dealers, new all-time high, new all-time closing high. I'll hit a 7 handle there. Oil shorts still getting squeezed. So 20 MA, not enough to bring price down, and we're going to close above that. 71.09 was the close today. So we got through the 70 handle, and yeah, if we can close above that on the weekly, definitely not bad. So kind of below that previous area. But yeah, good move there for oil. We'll talk about this trend line if it wants to keep squeezing up. But everybody thought 50 basis points was going to crash oil and bond yields and the dollar, and that's not happening. XLE up 1.2. It's into resistance, needs to pull back or consolidate, but very good bounce. Same with XOP and OIH, right? We went right into this breakdown area. That's where we broke down. Probably need to do some backing and filling, but I think energy is getting interesting towards the end of the year. CCJ trying to break out of this bull flag, but not really a lot of oomph on it. Like 2.5% is big for some stocks, but not for CCJ. And it closed lower than where it opened too. So there is some sellers coming in here. So it might need to do more basing, but it's trying to set up that WV. URNM looks a little bit better. It's up 3.72. It closed higher than where it opened today, but still has a lower low potentially on the daily. And then NM up 5.73 again. Still got to get above 20 to confirm a higher high. Nat gas sucked a lot of shorts in today. It was puking into inventories. There's inventories, boom. So huge move there. So it was threatening to break down below my 228 and it came right back up. If you get through 240, it's going to 250, maybe even 260. The one problem I have with it right now, and this is all I'll mention, is the X contract, which is the next one. Not as good, right? Definitely not as sexy looking. Still has that W shape, but you never broke above like that red bar, that red candle there at 270. So now I do like this candle here. I like that the volume. I like the higher low setup. We'll need to see this one firm up a little bit more because this contract will roll here, and I think next week. I still think dips can get bought into like November, but X contract not as strong. So that's the one negative there I see. Dollar index did finish lower. It was up a lot more. It did come off the highs. Again, jobless claims this morning came in pretty strong, way stronger than expected, which now is that got the market looking at the 50 basis points. I mean, oh wait, what did they just do a major mistake here? But it did come off the highs. It's still holding the lows, and I don't know. I think that might be a low here. We'll see. It needs to follow through, and at least I would like to see a close at least above 101 tomorrow to kind of confirm that. If we're looking at the weekly, that would certainly be a lot better of a look. Gold here came right back today. I still don't think this is going to go too much higher, though. I think the PM done same thing with like silver. I know it was a good, it was trying to be an outside candle this morning. I don't think it's quite ready, though. So I'm not sure this is ready. And same thing with gold here. But, I mean, there's no sell signal on gold. The trend is up. GDX. There's nothing wrong with that, really. So the miners look pretty decent. Platinum also bouncing. I think that needs to consolidate. And the same goes for palladium. So nothing wrong. They just need to consolidate, maybe pull back a little bit. And then copper here, good move, but it did get stopped right there. So you could make a case it's a weekly bear flag. So just be cognizant of that. But you also retested that big breakout too in past. So again, I'm kind of neutral on copper here, but good price action today. And then Bitcoin, I guess the crash was greatly exaggerated here too. A lot of resistance up here though, and we can see we did come off the highs today. But again, watch. So, oops. You know, if you get a higher low there, and this becomes a higher high, right, that's going to set up that configuration here. So I'm watching how it behaves at this level. They could get rejected and could have to come back down. There's nothing saying it can't, but that's what we're on watch for, and that's what bulls want to see. So Bitcoin's still holding up, and good follow through here today. So again, spiders gapping above all-time high. We'll see what we get tomorrow, but I wouldn't get bearish until we see a high volume sell candle, and we'll just keep it really simple. That's all we really need to do at this point. I do think sentiment is a bit stretched, so we could see some backing and filling for sure, but outside of that, again, no problems. Trend is up. You're at all-time highs, and that's despite everybody saying that this, 50 basis points was going to be a panic thing. I thought it would be. If they did it, because I didn't think they were going to do it. But anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. See you guys all tomorrow.